an interview with the Associated Press, Kings Vice President of Basketball and Franchise Operations, Vlade Divac, talked about who he thought is the most talented big man he's seen. Take a look at this quote. "I've been in basketball a long, long time, and I have to say Cousins is the most talented big guy I have ever seen. Shaq wasn't talented, he was just strong. I was talented, but I wasn't strong." All right, Stephen A. He says that Shaq wasn't talented, just strong. Does he have a point?
He might be the most ignorant. That might be the most ignorant statement I've ever heard. I mean, to say that Shaq wasn't talented. Shaq was 7'1", 325 pounds. He was nimble. He had a soft touch. He was dominant. He'd yam it on your face. He could run the floor. He did a lot of things. And when you look at Shaquille O'Neal, he wasn't dominant because he was big. Yao Ming was big. You know, Murison was big. You know, a whole bunch of people were big, but Shaquille O'Neal was the most dominant force of the modern era and the second most dominant force in the history of basketball this side of Wilt Chamberlain. For Vlade Divac to utter such blasphemy is just utterly ridiculous. This is a guy that never averaged more than 16 points in a season. He never averaged more than 5 assists in a season. He only averaged 10 rebounds a game 3 times in his 16 years in the NBA. And he's got the nerve, the audacity, the unmitigated gall to echo such blasphemous nonsense. It's ridiculous. You can sit there and say what you want. Shaquille O'Neal definitely didn't hit free throws. There were times where he could have rebounded more. There's no question about it. But you saw he wasn't just yamming it on people. He had post moves. He had a hook. He had a soft J inside 8 feet. Okay, of course he had a power game to go with it. Plus he could run the floor. Plus he was athletic. Shaquille O'Neal will go down as one of the greatest big men to have ever blessed the court of the NBA in NBA history. I cannot believe that Vlade Divac, who's an incredibly nice guy and a really, really good guy, who was a decent player, but the word decent is operative because he damn sure wasn't more than that, could sit there and say something about one of the greatest big men in the history of the NBA. Vlade Divac needs to pick up the phone, call Shaquille O'Neal, and I don't give a damn if it's in English or the language for Yugoslavia or whatever. You need to apologize immediately for saying that stuff about Shaquille O'Neal. The nerve of this dude to say that thing. Just blasphemy. Absolute blasphemy.
Somewhere, Vlade, as we speak, is chuckling, thinking, I knew I could push Stephen A's button with this one.
Yeah, he did.
You know
he most
what
certainly
he is.
did.
You know who he was. He was always a showman. He was always an instigator, a goat getter, and he just got your goat. He just pushed your button from a distance. And he loves it because obviously he now works for the team for which DeMarcus Cousins plays. So clearly he's going to say, even though I'm kind of going in that direction too, DeMarcus has as much talent, just overall talent, as any big man I've ever seen. But the quote comes off like Shaquille O'Neal was some kind of stiff. and as you well point out, beautifully said, Stephen A., showed great insight into the game of one Shaquille O'Neal. He was as quick and athletic as well as powerful a big man as I ever saw. And you're right, he did have extraordinary touch out to about 8 feet. Now, when you put him 15 feet away at the free throw line, it didn't work so well. The touch faded at about 15 feet because he was a 53% career free throw shooter, second worst all time to the great Wilt Chamberlain. But I'll point out right now, DeAndre Jordan is now currently shooting 40% from the free throw line. Andre Drummond is shooting 39%, so we can put it in some perspective there. It seems to be getting worse for the kids today. But in Shaq's case, nimble doesn't even begin to dignify what this man could do in the post. He could be the whirling dervish that he was at 7'1", 325 pounds. So that's just showmanship from Vlade. He's just trying to attract some attention to himself and to his new franchise, and I think he pulled that off.
Yes, he did. He was successful.
Yes.
Serbian, Stephen A., Serbian.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry, because I know
it's
that.
okay.
I know. I've known Vlade Divac for years. I just misspoke. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No worries.
But by the way,
yeah.
Skip, talk about Vlade Divac works for the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah.
Who owns part of them?
Who owns part of them?
Shaq.
Oh my goodness! Oh, this was then he was just trying to get his goat.
So I mean, could you? I mean, that might be a fireable offense. What he said.
Let's hope not.
Well, are you saying Shaq is his
He better
boss?
apologize.
Yes,
he better apologize.
Disrespected his boss. How dare he? All right, listen. More First Take after the break. We'll be right back in just a few moments.
ESPN First Take is presented by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here. And in part by Liberty Mutual Insurance. See car insurance in a whole new light. And La Quinta. Wake up on the bright side at La Quinta Inns and Suites.
So First Take is on the road in Las Vegas for Fight Week. We will be counting down to Mayweather-Pacquiao along with some special guests. We can't announce them just yet. We ask you to join us live or obviously on television from America's Playground. Stephen A., earlier you said May 2nd, most important day for you, something special in the air?
It's the fight. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, nothing else matters. I've waited 6 years for this. We will be in Vegas that week. We will be on the air that Saturday of the fight. Damn it, it's going to happen. We're going to be there. They're going to be there. I have waited 6 years for this. May 2nd.
Saturday?
Nothing matters. If we ain't on the air, we're going to be on the air. We ain't going to be on the air. We're going to be on the air. I'm telling you right now. I don't care whether they planned it or not.
Okay.
We're going to be on the air.
Okay.
Make it happen.
Okay.
And it will not. I'm going to be on the air, Skip. I'm going to be on the air all day.
You're always
and
on the air.
all night.
You're on the air
and I can't
24/7.
wait.
Stephen
That's
A.
right.
Smith.
I'm doing 24/7. I can't wait.
I regret to inform you that by midnight Eastern, as May 2nd turns to May 3rd, you will want to talk about nothing but the NFL draft.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes, that's all you want to talk about.
Red Sox,
Please.
Yankees. He
Yeah.
want maybe
Please.
that as
Maybe,
well?
yeah, maybe we'll throw a little Red Sox Yankees.
Please.
If we're
This
doing
is not
a
the
post-fight show on
Okay.
ESPN2, that you'll
Please.
say, we should talk draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about my
About
name
Jameis
getting knocked
going
out.
first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do Jameis.
Jameis
Hey,
went
Skip,
first.
Kerry,
do the
I haven't
second or
told my
third day of
family.
the
I haven't told my family. May 1st, May 2nd, don't bother me. I don't want to talk to anybody.
Steve
I don't
A.
want to talk to anybody.
Well, you
Just
won't
the
want
fight.
to talk to
I
anybody
want to talk to
after this
anybody.
fight.
That's not
It's
true.
all about the
Me.
fight. I'm here.
That's not
I'm
that's
here.
not true.
Yeah.
Apparently, we're working that Saturday. We didn't even know, folks. So we're making it happen. Producers, get
That's
ready.
right.
We'll see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2.